ordered a new magnetic case that I'm going to put my Blood Angels in and then some other things. And it was supposed to be here today, but it is not, so I'm a little unhappy. But I got them all spread out so that I could, as soon as I get the case, get them put away. But this is my first company of Blood Angels. Now you'll notice I had Sergeant Ottovas here with his group, the 5th Squad, but I decided to upgrade them to Terminators. So I have them. We'll show them in just a moment here, but we've got Captain Carleen with the Hammer of Ball, which I need to finish painting the hammer. And we have an Apothecary I need to paint. We have a Chaplain and Lieutenant, Librarian, and another Lieutenant. And then this is how I chose to do my squads. May not be completely accurate, but it's how I chose to do them. There's Viserius here with the Ripper Claws. I got a Lorenzo here. That these are all supposedly veterans of the Death Watch. Anyway, the guys who hunt Xenos, and they've got their weapons chained to them. Then I got Sergeant DiNardo and his group. They're kind of sort of intercessors, and that's where I have the one that's cut the Tyrannid in half. We got these guys with the jump pack, and that's Sergeant Anaretos. And then I got Camus here with his pretty much with him it's heavy weapons and a sniper. And some of these guys have been damaged while they've been in the box, so I need to repair them. That's why they look that way. Sergeant Gideon's group is actually, I think we're going to leave them the way they are, but we might upgrade them. They've got some heavy weapons as well. Marius, who carries a special sword. His guys are all going to be upgraded with jump packs and tabards coming up pretty soon. And then these are our blade guards, Sergeant Dominic and his guys. Every one of them has a shield somewhere. Well, there's one. I don't know where his shield is. Guess I'm going to have to find it. But anyway, they got a shield, and then either like a hammer, a bolter. Most of them have swords. He's missing the rest of his hammer, but he does have his shield. And yeah, a little bit rude of you, but he could change that arm out, and we've got a sword for that other arm. So, and then Batavus, which is the 1st Squad, and there you go. So, yeah, I've been busy. Going to continue on with all getting names on all of these. Get these guys into the new container. Get them fixed up, those that are damaged, and try to get some of them finished up. So I got a lot of work ahead of me. So I wasn't completely happy with my 5th Squad, and although they looked pretty good. But for a veteran company, I thought, no, I'm going to need to upgrade these guys. Well, fortunately, the larger Primaris Terminators came out. So I have a set. Now, these are 3D printed, just so you guys know. And I'll show you who I'm going to replace this guy with, who was pretty good. So I'm going to replace him with a Terminator. I'm waiting. The nameplate is actually printing right now. And this will be Sergeant Ottovas, I guess is how you'd pronounce it. Anyway, I still have quite a bit of painting to do on him, but I've added a few goodies like these up here, and the loincloth or tabard here, and I also gave him a sanguinary sword. Thought it'd be appropriate for first company, and we have the rest of the group here. Now you'll see I've got name tags on most of them, and I need to finish painting those name tags. But you'll see these guys are more into the ranged weapons, although they do have power fists and some claws and chain swords for close in action. And this should round out the complement of 10 right here. So I had printed up this guy here. He is a captain in Grievous armor, and thought he looked pretty cool. Went ahead and gave him a name. Now that is not a part of the current codex, just so you know, for any of the companies. Don't know what company I will put him over, but he turned out pretty cool. Yeah, he comes. The only thing I have added was this this piece of plastic right up here. Other than that, this is how he came. You know, from the STL, and then of course I added the name there. Now I wanted to do a librarian, some librarians for some other chapters that I have. I have a couple of good librarians for my Blood Angels, but I wanted to do one for a excuse me, for a different group. And every once in a while something will happen where you will get a print that'll go too big, and that's the problem. I upscaled him just a little bit. This is where he should be, and I brought him back down. But when I originally printed him, I printed him too big, and I went, oh no, what am I going to do with this too big of a print? Hate to just throw him away. And I was reading, and I found out there were a couple of chapters that have rather large. They're bigger, taller than some of the other chapters. They're Gene Seed, and the Carcharodons was one of them. And I thought, oh, I don't have one of those. And I looked up, and here's a librarian. This is the head librarian, the Carcharodons, and I did him in all gray. You'll notice, so he's kind of tall and big, but he does have the right size backpack on. That's not oversized, which is good. And some subtle shading on the cloak. Put him on one of these bases here that I had pre-done. Now, the plant here definitely glows under black light, as well as the sword, which is kind of neat. Same with his eyes, or his lenses, I should say. And then his backpack also glows in the black light, which is really kind of cool. But here is the reprint at the proper size. But you can see these Terminators, they're huge. This is how the new ones have come out. They're just gigantic. I'm gonna finish the nameplate on him, but you'll notice this again. This is a 3D print that I did. Very, very similar to the new Titus that's come out for the second company, the Captain Titus of the second company for the 500 Worlds piece that's coming out pretty quick. And he's almost finished. I got to finish up his name and a couple of other little things on him. But you'll see the cloak and whatnot, and how I decided to put him on this base that has this this destroyed Necron, which was kind of cool. And this this Imperium base that I printed a couple of these of. So yeah, he's kind of neat. And speaking of that base, here it is again. with this particular print. Now, again, need a little bit of edge highlighting. I need to do a little bit of highlighting on the chains, but this this Calgar sitting on that throne, and then I went ahead and put him on a I forget what kind of stones those are, but the stone base, and then the you know, this yeah, this pedestal. Thank you. So having a lot of fun doing these. This is one of the new Tyranids that I just printed today, and of course I got to get him painted up.